Save yourself a bunch of money on store-bought American-style chili sauces because you can easily make them at home. Hi, I'm Tracy. Has anyone ever tried American-style chili sauces and wondered why they're so smooth and not too spicy? Something most people and even kids can enjoy. There's definitely a secret behind that. So in today's video, I'll show you how to make American-style chili sauce at home without using too many chilies, keeping that mild heat and gentle sweetness that's just right. And especially, at the end of the video, I'll share a perfect pairing of this chili sauce with one special ingredient to create an unbeatable dish. Now let's get started. To make this chili sauce, you need to prepare a few familiar ingredients listed below. Each one is measured in specific amounts, and you can adjust the flavors to suit your own taste. First, the main ingredient of this recipe is tomato paste. Here, I use about 170 grams for a moderate portion. Tomato paste creates the thick texture, rich color, and smooth consistency of the sauce. Next, add 1/4 to 1/2 cup of water to thin out the tomato paste so the sauce is not too thick and can simmer properly. To create sweetness, I use 2 tablespoons of brown sugar and 2 tablespoons of honey. Brown sugar adds depth and a warm caramel note, while honey brings a gentle sweetness that balances beautifully with the tomato flavor. Next, add 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce, which brings a deeper savory flavor and makes the sauce more satisfying. To add warmth and color, I use 2 teaspoons of paprika. If you prefer more heat, you can switch to cayenne pepper instead. Next are the spices and aromatics, including 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1/2 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon of allspice, and 1/2 teaspoon of ground cloves. Finally, add 1 teaspoon of salt and 1 teaspoon of black pepper to balance and highlight all the flavors in this sauce. In addition, if you enjoy spicy food, you can add dried chili flakes or a little hot sauce to adjust the heat level, making this recipe easy to customize for every taste. Finally, to balance the sweetness, prepare 2 to 3 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. This is an essential ingredient because it adds freshness and a mild tang, preventing the sauce from tasting flat. After all the ingredients are prepared, choose a large mixing bowl and add the ingredients one by one, starting with the tomato paste, which forms the base of the sauce. Next, pour in the water gradually. It's best to add less water at first and add more later if needed. Then add the brown sugar and honey. I like the combination of brown sugar and honey because it creates a wonderful sweetness and a very smooth, glossy texture. Continue by adding the apple cider vinegar, followed by the Worcestershire sauce. These liquids help balance the sweetness and add depth of flavor, so be sure to mix well and scrape down the sides of the bowl to make sure everything is fully combined. Now it's time to add the spices. Add the paprika or paprika pepper, garlic powder, ground cinnamon, allspice, ground cloves, and finally the salt and black pepper. Finally, add dried chili and chili sauce. Stir well to prevent any clumping and to help the spices blend evenly. Keep mixing until the sauce looks uniform, thick, and well combined. At this point, the chili sauce should be thick, smooth, and glossy, which is exactly what you want. The great thing is that you can adjust the thickness to your liking. If the sauce feels too thick for your taste, add a little water and mix again. Do this gradually so you don't thin it out too much. On the other hand, if you prefer a thicker sauce for dipping, you can leave it just as it is. When the sauce has been well mixed and is smooth, pour the chili sauce mixture into a small saucepan and place it on the stove over medium heat. Stir gently as the sauce begins to warm up, then lower the heat and let it simmer. This slow, gentle cooking step is very important because it allows all the flavors to blend together and become richer. As the sauce simmers, you'll notice it becoming thicker, smoother, and more fragrant. Keep the heat low and stir occasionally to prevent it from sticking or burning on the bottom of the pan. Simmering also helps stabilize the sauce, allowing it to be stored for a longer time. When the sauce looks glossy and thick, turn off the heat and let it cool slightly. When it cools, you'll have a smooth, glossy chili sauce with a beautiful red color. Not much different from what you'd find at a restaurant, right? You can use it as a dipping sauce for French fries, fried onions, chicken nuggets, or any of your other favorite foods. If you don't use it all right away, it's important to store it properly. Transfer the sauce into a clean glass jar with a tight-fitting lid. Make sure the jar is completely dry before adding the sauce to prevent moisture from affecting the flavor. Store the jar in a cool to dry place away from direct sunlight. If the weather where you live is very hot, or if you want to keep the sauce fresh for longer, placing the jar in the refrigerator is the best option. When stored correctly, the chili sauce will keep its flavor very well. Since we've just finished making a batch of delicious chili sauce, I'll show you a very tempting dish that pairs perfectly with its shrimp cocktail. To make this dish properly, start by preparing the shrimp. Choose large, fresh shrimp, peel them, and remove the vein, leaving the tails on to make the dish look more attractive. Bring a pot of water to a gentle boil with a pinch of salt and a slice of lemon. Add the shrimp and boil for about 2 to 3 minutes until they turn pink and opaque. Immediately transfer the shrimp to a bowl of ice water to stop the cooking process and keep them firm and juicy. Once cooled, remove them, drain well, and pat dry. Now prepare the sauce. Spoon the homemade chili sauce into a small bowl for a more traditional cocktail flavor. Stir in a little fresh lemon juice and, if you like, a bit of mustard to add extra heat. Mix well until smooth. To serve, arrange the chilled shrimp over a layer of salad greens and around the plate. Place the chili sauce in the center or on the side for dipping. The sweet, lightly tangy chili flavor pairs perfectly with the natural sweetness of the shrimp, creating a simple, refreshing dish that's perfect for parties, holidays, or a light meal. Today's video ends here. Have you learned how to make this chili sauce? If you still have any questions or would like me to make another type of sauce, please leave a comment below and let me know. Thank you for watching until the end. And if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, share it with others who love cooking, and subscribe to the channel for more easy and practical recipes.